XRP and Ripple to leave a dent in the universe? That's what I believe. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Remember, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Draper. We are now in regulation and joining phase. Now, the beautiful thing that is happening right now, because the change of guards with Trump coming in on January 20th, 2025, pro crypto SEC. I'm going to show you a video from Gary Gensler on his way out. We have a pro crypto Congress. We have a pro crypto White House, and many of them are holding crypto to include RFK. Almost all of his wealth is in Bitcoin. Vivek is starting a Bitcoin treasury. So did we for our company. And we are following the model. We have been very diligent, very disciplined. Now remember, bull run number one, you're learning. This is bull run number one, understanding how markets work and financial literacy. Bull run number two, which will be back end of 2028 to 2030, that's your wealth paradigm. Okay. You have to build a game plan. We have 6 years, as Raul Paul says, don't F this up. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how JP Morgan's talking about XRP and Solana ETF, their prediction. We're going to show you a video from Gary Gensler where he's just kind of just saying his piece as he heads out. And then we're going to talk about Bitcoin and how radically things are transforming. I truly believe, and I will stand on this, that Bitcoin and XRP will be number one and number two in the next 6 years when all the dust settles. But remember, after 23, nothing will ever be the same. You'll either own the rails or you'll use the rails. The people who told you cryptocurrency is a fraud will be operating on blockchain and cryptocurrency. So Cointelegraph put out breaking: JP Morgan predicts Solana and XRP ETFs could attract 3 to 8 billion in new investments if approved with the SEC's decision. So they have their little chart here saying that 3 to 8 billion in new investments if approved. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're new to crypto or new to investing, what is an ETF? So you have the underlying asset, Bitcoin, XRP, and many other cryptocurrencies. So if you buy it, say on Coinbase, and you're buying the actual asset, or you're buying XRP, you're buying the asset. An ETF is exposure to the asset. For example, BlackRock launched their Bitcoin ETF, which they're number 2 holder in Bitcoin through their ETF now. So you can get exposure through an ETF, right? You don't hold the underlying asset. So think about this. So when these people say that, oh, we're not pro crypto, I'm against crypto, Warren Buffett, one of his greatest performing investments is Nubank. It's a cryptocurrency bank. He tells you he doesn't like Bitcoin, but he sure as heck is invested in a Bitcoin bank. BlackRock, before they got into Bitcoin and said it was a flight to quality, they flipped the script on us. They were investing heavily in MicroStrategies, which is, I guess, secondary, getting exposure to Bitcoin, because that is his whole business model now. They're a software company, but he said, no, now we're a Bitcoin treasury company. So BlackRock was getting access through the back door through MicroStrategies, and then finally flipped the script. So that tells you that, if MicroStrategies' strategy was to start accumulating Bitcoin like crazy, Larry Fink already believed in Bitcoin before he told us it was a flight to quality. Think about that. Why would he go all in on MicroStrategies? Not all in, one of the top 3 holders in MicroStrategies, when you know their strategy is buy Bitcoin, borrow, buy Bitcoin. So we have to use logic. That's how we don't get played in these markets. You got people going back and forth their opinion. You just have to look at logic. That's how you don't get played. Okay. Good morning, crypto posters. Just in, SEC chair, Gary Gensler, exit interview. Let's just listen to this as he heads out. We got a couple days left of this.
In terms of Bitcoin, we at the SEC have never said it's a security.
Well,
I have not.
What do you think? You taught at MIT. I think you know. You got to have some kind of feeling. You've read the books, Bitcoin Standard.
Yeah. I think that Bitcoin is a highly speculative.
Look how fed up they are. Look at him. Look, he's pissed. He's like, everybody's fed up with this bullshit. This is the era of authenticity. This is absolutely beautiful what's happening.
Volatile asset, but with 7 billion people around the globe, 7 billion people want to trade it, just like we do have gold for 10,000 years.
So if oh my God, it doesn't, I'm so excited for January 20th.
We have Bitcoin. It might be something else in the future as well.
Right.
These other thousands of projects need to show their use case and show that they actually have fundamentals underlying them. Or
so Gary Gensler, they need to show they have fundamentals underlying them. Like, let's talk for just a moment, man. I want to talk about this. This is why you have to use logic, guys. Gary, you said they have to have fundamentals that are underlying them, but you held a case against Ripple for the last 4 years, which number one has fundamentals. Number two, banks all over are implementing their technologies. Number three, it's in Bank of America's patent. It is a real world solve utility that fixes a Nostrovostal double spend problem. It moves money at the speed of light as we're moving into a new realm. Money's or supply chains moving at the speed of light. Messages are moving at the speed of light. And now money needs to move at the speed of light. So you just told us that XRP is not a security. The SEC beat you. So know that there's a deeper I guarantee you, watch this, mark my word. He is now going to get a job at some cushy firm. Know the game, guys. Know the game. I mean, just listen to what they say. Listen to watch what they do, not what they say.
They won't persist, Joe.
Oh my God, you own
that's
Bitcoin.
Where the public, that's why the public.
Did you hear him? He said you must own Bitcoin. I didn't hear that.
Needs disclosure.
That's what it's.
I don't.
You love
I've
it.
never owned.
You love.
I've never.
You love it. You don't like those other coins.
I've never owned any of these, and
You're a
I've
legend.
been consistent
Legend.
for 7 or 8 years on this.
Well, now you can because you won't be at SEC charity.
Legend. I love that you guys. You own Bitcoin. Oh my gosh. It is like they're trolling these people now, man. It's Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, Elon. It's like, come on, man. This is the greatest time in humanity. You should be excited right now, family. All right. So new Italy's largest bank, Intesa Sanpaolo, buys 1 million worth of Bitcoin. Just so you guys know, too, I have dyslexia, so sometimes I mess up words. Just have to deal with it. I don't re-record videos. Okay. Elizabeth Warren, come on, girl. Come on. Senator Warren demands crypto crackdown in her January 12th letter due to the national security concerns. Nobody's listening anymore, ma'am. I'm sorry. Warren specifically urged Scott Bessent, Trump's Secretary Treasury designee, to enhance the Treasury Department's power regarding anti-money laundering and counterterrorism finance. Well, just to let you know, Elizabeth, and he's going to have to do this because he's becoming the Treasury Secretary, but U.S. Treasury Secretary the new Treasury Secretary, to sell BlackRock Bitcoin ETF stake. So I think he has to do that, becoming it, but he owns Bitcoin, Elizabeth. He is pro crypto. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. Donald Trump could issue crypto executive order on his first day. Okay. Just in, Donald Trump is expected to issue executive orders on the first day of his presidency regarding Bitcoin and crypto, the Washington Post. So did you guys see what happened to crypto just after he won by a landslide? Do you realize what's going to happen February, March, April, May? And I'm going to give you the pattern based on history right at the back end of this video, okay? We got just in, corporate demand for Bitcoin is already outpacing the new Bitcoin supply this year. Supply and demand. And I'll explain that in my plan. Man, I got a lot of energy today, guys. All right, we're going to wrap it up with this right here. And thank you for all the news, man. They're making our jobs very easy.
It's interesting because at the end of last year, you saw Bitcoin skyrocket above $100,000 per Bitcoin. You saw that interest really start to taper off at the beginning of this year. You've had an incredibly successful launch. You have had some outflows in the product in more recent weeks. What do you make of that as you enter year two?
Yeah, well, I think big picture, it was a pretty incredible first year for IBIT. Obviously, record setting on a lot of dimensions, including inflows and asset accumulation. And, you know, as we come into year two now, we're focused on a lot of the same stuff that we were in year one, which is really being a valuable resource and an education partner to many of our clients. As we've talked about in the past on this show, we're still quite early days in terms of the adoption of the wealth advisory and the institutional segment. And so we're spending a lot of time engaging with those types of clients.
Is that where the growth is? We just heard from Kavita Gupta at Delta Blockchain, who said institutional is the next catalyst in 2025. I mean, how much opportunity is there?
Listen.
Well, certainly the third bucket, which we refer to as end investors direct, was gangbusters out of the gates, right? And these other two categories, wealth advisory and institutional, there are much greater hurdles in terms of their process and the research and diligence that they go through.
Of those two buckets, which is a bigger opportunity?
It's hard to pick one, but probably wealth advisory, actually, because there's a lot of sort of momentum around firms that are working through their expedited approvals processes to allow advisors to actually put these ETPs in client portfolios. But institutional is very significant as well, and that's an education journey for many that's been playing out over the year. We're starting to see more of them emerge, particularly over the last quarter, I would say. You saw more institutions and a little bit more wealth advisory in the
Okay, so this is what makes it exciting. Let me break that down. Okay, make the complex simple. You're in before the wealth advisors. You are in before the institutions. Like, take a deep breath and close your eyes and realize what just happened. Now, do you see why Gary Gensler and the SEC pushed back on Ripple? Do you see why they got you drunk in the Coliseum over here? Guys, it was anti-crypto 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. As they printed more money than in history. They got way wealthier. And they buried us in debt. They got us so buried in debt, we can't even think straight. The average American has to make $150,000 a year. And then all of a sudden they wake up in 2023. Oh, it's a flight to quality. De-risk. Get out of the deflationary dollar and go into, get out of the deflating dollar, go to deflationary asset, Bitcoin, gold. Guys, this stuff just doesn't happen overnight. Like I told you, BlackRock was getting exposure through MicroStrategies. You think they're going to go that hard on MicroStrategies when they know that Michael Saylor's strategy is stacking Bitcoin, borrowing, selling stock, stacking Bitcoin, selling shares, buying more Bitcoin? I mean, you can get tribalism about XRP, Bitcoin, all that. You can get as tribal as you want. The game has always been the same. They push us to look this way, and then they bring it into crypto, and they divide and conquer in crypto. You have people in the XRP community going against each other. The Bitcoin, if you're a Bitcoin and XR, it's like, come on, guys, take a deep breath, man. We're all trying to get to the same goal, freedom. And do you realize you're in before everybody? This is a very 5% of the population has exposure to crypto. So here's the thing. You're in early. Yes, your family is going to be radically transformed if and only if you have a game plan. Number one, don't play games with your money. Do not play games with your money. Build a fundamental long-term portfolio, knowing that you have all these asset managers the next 6 years coming in. Number two, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Number three is if you win, pull some profits. Pull some profits. Number four, get your debts paid off. Get out of debt. Don't go buy Lambos. Don't go buy big trucks and houses and things. You should never buy those things that you want unless it's paid for by an asset or through a company. Don't put yourself back in the American trap, which we call the American dream, borrowing against your future self, taking away from your family. Every single dime you pull out of this, listen to me, every single dime you pull out of this market should be multiplied. Every single dime. And until your family is inside of an asset bubble that continues to pay you, then you shouldn't buy the things you want. So I'm telling you exactly how I did it. I'm very serious and disciplined about this because I knew this opportunity will never come in my lifetime or my kids' lifetime. Do you realize we're going from industrial to technical? There's been changes in money, but this is the biggest change we'll ever experience. And there's never been an opportunity for us to own the actual rate. The institutions aren't even in yet. You're in before the institution. So here's what I did from 2020 to 2022. And here's what I did from 2020, going to do from 2024 to 2026 and beyond. 2020 to 2022, I was like, this is not natural. I'm making more money than I would have made as an executive. It was crazy at a bank. I was like, wow. So I was very diligent. I was creating money. I was flipping. I was doing everything, anything I could. I was putting money into this crypto, right? I was still learning, and then it profited, and I pulled down the risk pyramid, and I started using cash value life insurance in 2020. And I started to put them into I started to understand that game, right? That opened up a whole new paradigm for me. Then I started to buy a little bit of silver, right? and I got a piece of real estate, I got a home, and I was like, okay, cool. I got the real estate, I got some silver. And then I started to invest in my companies, and I started to grow my companies. I started to create cash flow, the fastest way to wealth. But I took that cash flow and I reinvested back in the market when everything collapsed down. 2022, 2023, 2024, I accumulated, and it happened so fast. It was like all of a sudden we're here. I dollar cost average every day. I bought the dips when it went down, and then all of a sudden the bull run hit again. And I'm like, whoa, that multiplied quick. So now, again, Bitcoin, I'm holding 100%. I'm not touching it. That's my future bank legacy. Okay. That's a legacy. Then I'll explain this. 94% of supply is gone. 6% is left. Okay. 80% of the supply has not moved. They're only going to mine it for 116 years. And you're going to have institutions running in, and you own a piece of something that somebody may never in the future be able to own. Crazy, right? So the price can only go up, because where are they going to have to get it from? There's got to be a buyer and there's got to be a seller. It's only 21 million, and there's 7.8 billion people, somewhere around 7 to 8 billion people in the world. Do the math. It's scarcity. So I'm willing to take a chance on that. If I'm wrong, I'll deal with it. Okay. Then my biggest holding is XRP. I have XLM. I got HBAR. I got some Solana. I'm not going to go to my whole portfolio, but I have these other ones. XRP is my biggest holding. I believe in it. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm Ripple pre-IPO, and we have XRP for our company, XRP personally. We got a Bitcoin treasury going on for our company. So what I do is I'm going to pull 50% of my alternative coins. Now, my plan may not work for you. You know, I was buying XRP at 17 cents. So you can hold it forever. There's nothing wrong with that. But the only reason I exit is because every single dime is accounted for. Okay. I'm pulling it down the risk pyramid. I'll max fund my policies. Once that's funded, it'll overflow. Then I'll buy more silver. I'm doing a ETF dividend strategy, which you're investing in things like MicroStrategies, Coinbase, very volatile markets with the ETFs, creating cash flow. With the cash flow, I'm de-risking back into Bitcoin and XRP. So in 2024, the goal is to make sure all my debts and non-negotiables are paid for by assets. So all earned income, active income from my companies will be going right back into investments. That's how you build wealth, richest man in Babylon. I studied this stuff because they took away my ability to feed my family in 2020. And I said, enough is enough. You will never fucking take away my ability to feed my family ever again. We have a facility here that has a gym attached to it, the Warrior Academy. And in 2020, they shut down my business, locked our doors, put a curfew on. I was like, never again, never again. And I saw this window of opportunity with this asset class where I'm not going to go buy Lambos and Ferraris and a bunch of bullshit to take away from my future, my family's future, because there's no greater feeling for a man to sit back and look at his ecosystem taken care of, that he can take care of his people. That's the best high in the world for a man. And so I've been disciplined. I've made a couple mistakes, but I've made them right in regards to purchases, because I bought something I wanted versus something I needed. So this year, 2025, my debts and non-negotiables will be paid for by assets. From there, all my earned income will be going back into assets. If I want to buy something fun or something nice, for example, I love fast cars. I'll probably get a nice supercar or a boat. I will only get that if an asset pays for it. I will never use my own money. What would that look like? If I have some cash sitting there, I'm not going to go spend $300,000 on a supercar. I'd put it into a dividend ETF strategy. I'd take that cash flow. I'd max fund a policy. I'd borrow against my policy. There's so many different strategies you can do. You can buy a property. You don't ever want to take away from your future self. And when I started to develop that patience and that discipline, I really don't want the stuff anymore. I'm sure I'll get it and I'll probably regret it, just like we do with everything. But I sure as hell will not use my family's future money and my ability to create freedom for my family, financial freedom, so we don't have freedom of choice, freedom of time, freedom of speech. I created all my own ecosystems. There's no sponsorships. We don't have anything. No, our channel is not sponsored. I've never been paid by a cryptocurrency company ever to promote a crypto. That's freedom. Everything I speak about, I own. I speak about insurance. We have our own insurance financial services company. I speak about education. We have an education company. I speak about Merlin. I'm owner of that company, right? I have my spiritual brand, Refined Integrity. That's my company. Everything I own I'm responsible for. And that way I have freedom of speech. I can talk about God and Jesus Christ. I have freedom of time, freedom of choice. And if something goes wrong, I own that shit. And that's what currency can do for you. So I will get off my soapbox. I just wanted to share with you guys, I will never share anything that I'm not doing myself. And so I hope that this message, reaches your heart well. This is the greatest time in human history to get your shit together, get disciplined, get consistent. And remember, I'm talking to men specifically and women, head of the household. Get your shit together. Because I had this moment last Friday, and we captured the moment on Instagram. It was kind of out of character for me a little bit, but we took a picture of me sitting there. And it was a moment where I sat back and I'm like, wow. If you guys know my past, I attempted suicide on December 18, 2006 due to an opiate addiction. And I was seeking the world. And I've been in that thing in the last 4 years. I've really just focused on God, family, protecting my ecosystem at all costs, putting blinders on, staying on another man's and women's business because I got too much time. I got too much things going on running my business. And I sat back and I looked at my ecosystem. And I was like, wow, there's no better high than a man sitting back and being like, wow, everything's taken care of. And I'm going to keep trying to get that high. I'm going to keep pushing, trying. I will get that high. Because freedom is seeing your people taken care of. Freedom is being able to take care of the people when they need it. So I love you guys. I really appreciate you. Big warning. I hate to put this on every video, but I'd rather ruin the video than hurt our people. I will never proactively DM you. I'm not asking about your crypto. I do not invest people's crypto. I do not have a trading platform. Don't send anybody your money or crypto. Do not. QFS accounts are a scam. You don't need a QFS account. Spread the word. Okay. Brad Garlinghouse is not doing a giveaway. Nobody's going to give you crypto. Nobody's going to. And if an influencer is, be very careful. Okay. Very careful. What we do have for you is resources. Down below in the description of this video, see needs assessment. And in my bio, you'll see needs assessment. I use cash value life insurance. I secure my family. I insure my wealth. What I do may not work for you. So if you have money sitting in a bank account that you want to secure or learn how to hold 401ks, you want to learn how to insure your family, you want to learn how to bank on your self-insurance, annuities, tax-free retirement, all kinds of different things we can help you with. That's a free consultation. You'll never send my team member money. Okay. What I do may not work for you. That's specifically for insurance. You want to talk to my financial services team and we'll do a retirement strategy for you. On the other side, we have the Coach JV Academy, the 120-day challenge. You'll see it down below or in my bio. That is a community of like-minded warriors. Over 10,000 people worldwide have gotten their shit together. My 120-day challenge, blinders on, lock and load, get disciplined, get consistent, market calls, live calls with me. And we have our whole education system as well. You'll be in the tribe, you'll be in the vibe. So I'll see you on the inside. Warriors, rah, let's get your shit together. Let's go.